Well, we're in the end of June, and there are very few things that have annoyed me quite as much as what I just saw on stream, what they just dropped here today, and with the show for the basically, I don't know, they're calling it the end of June countdown for whatever unholy reason. I think I'm gonna be blunt. I think today's content was an absolute L. I think it is dumb. I think they're hiding behind like bigger names. I think this to me feels like a Hail Mary that for the first time ever, they actually do feel the pressure of the clock essentially hitting midnight. The way this seems to be their big thing here is this June countdown program that you see right here. Ends June 30th, so you have the weekend till midnight Eastern or midnight Pacific. So do it that what you will to get Ronald Acuna and 75k in stubs. Now these cards are sellable. Do with that information what you will. However, it is too many stubs. I think it's over 70k. I think it's closer to like 85, 90. It is too many stubs for us not to attempt this, but we'll dive into that here in a second. I think this is one of many L's they took today. We got this new gauntlet program here to get Joe Mauer, quote unquote, be new. Again, I when we show off this card, I laugh because it feels like this was supposed to be the 99 card last week, that they were going to be, the two cards were flipped almost, but they caught wind of the leak and flipped them because his numbers are way better than a cycle card that we're going to see here in a second. The Moonshot event to get Nick Castellanos. Hey, good luck. Alongside some other stuff here as well, as you know, going along here. This is drop 3 to get Asim Nunez. You need him for that stupid June program. And then here's the stuff coming next week. So this is all Thursday. Here's the reason before anyone gets crazy. It is 4th of July weekend here next week in the United States. Friday. So the 4th of July is on a Saturday, meaning they're celebrating on a Friday. So it's a rare 4-day weekend for most people. Not me. But it's a 4-day weekend, and then you see their 7-9 All-Star. So this is kind of going to be where we're really going to be heading it, and you're going to have a longer weekend to kind of do it. Lightning Retro. Probably not getting the Retro if you're no money spent player. New event and drop 4. So let's dive into this, and I guess we'll start off. We'll just go in order. We'll go in order. It's fine. We'll make it simple and easy. And start the June countdown. We'll start out. You get some packs here, some stubs, of course. 2,000 stubs. And Zach ZH Britton. I don't know why they brought this up. Sinker, slider, 4-seam circle change. Same handedness splits, although his hit per 9 is going to be high regardless. His K per 9 will be fine. He'll fit into a lot of people's bullpen as the lefty upgrade here. Mod wise, I guess you could up the K if you really wanted to. His clutch is really good. Probably be closing for a lot of teams. Bullpen bash, and the reason why I'm laughing my little took us off is because it means they don't want to put another veteran for this sack of shit. His price is dropping, but it was over 100k, so this is just going to drop it even more, meaning people can finish veteran and probably get that thing set for the rest of the time. That's what it means to me. There is, God forbid they drop just another veteran. So meaning these two cards will be way more accessible for guys as we play. More XP, they're 4,000 stubs, so so far it's 6. We're at 6k at 75. Yeah, just under 80k. Oh, over, sorry. That's 9, 11, so 86,000. The big one here, who I think a lot of people are going to be trying to play this for, is Ronald Acuna. 91, 96, 87, 105. Fielding's still mid. Arm accuracy and strength is really good. Speed is good. Steal is okay. I don't know if he makes a lot of people's lineup. All these cards this year felt really, really strange to me, and this feels no different. It feels strange. It feels odd. A lot of this to me feels like it's made based on what their primary positions are, except for Shohei Ohtani. I think Shohei's the weird one that breaks the mold because of how stuff ends up. But all the cards have felt weird to me. This one feels weird to me too. I don't know why Vision is 65 for this guy. Maybe I'm crazy. It just feels like they just don't do well in card making anymore because of all this other stuff. And fielding contact is the way to go. It really does suck that that's where we are with this stuff and modifications for this game, where you're sort of having to make up for the lack of what the card is and not just, you know, improve its strength. I think that kind of sucks and has been a problem all year. Going on further here, you get this Rising Rookies pack, so that'll probably help see a lot of these guys. I don't know if this will bring them down. They're around 40k. It might drop them a smidgen, but who knows? And of course, the big thing, 75k stubs, which is, I think, worth playing for everybody. It just feels like like I said, it feels like a Hail Mary. So you have to do easy missions, mid missions, and hard. So you have to knock all this stuff out. I got these because I was playing I was playing mini seasons when this was going on. That's why I've had points and all this stuff as you sort of go along here. You do have to play multiplayer, but if you're going to do the home run event to get Nick anyway, not the biggest a deal. And then just make sure you get Hasim Nunez here. He gives you 10 for that. Media missions for Ronald Acuna. I think this is... Is it bad of me to say I think this is stupid? Because I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know what this means. I think there's be a lot of back and forth. I know I was hearing somebody else say like, oh, it feels like the Easter program. I guess it just feels like they want you to do in specific order. I don't know, because I think you're playing a lot of modes, and I think BR is going to be one of them, and no one wants to play BR. In terms of hard missions, same thing. There's 5 hard missions. Whatever the hell this means, I don't know. We'll sort of figure things out as we go along. So that's that to get your 75k stubs. Now for the event here, more 1000 XP packs, and then a Castellanos from his red days. 107, 98, 105, 105, 105 left. Sorry, I don't know why I was mixing that up. Fielding, we know he's a stellar fielder. Out there, no secondaries, probably just a DH type. Got a good bat. I don't know if he's cracking lineups, which is what I feel like half these cards. I have a theory that there's a free-to-play model structure and then a paid model structure, although that Chase card really breaks that mold. He's your free card along the way here, alongside a deluxe choice pack, and then a rewind pack that really hasn't changed because they're now all here. So if you want to sell one of these guys, now's your chance to, but it sort of seems like they're all kind of around 20. The one thing that's funny, I looked back at some of these older ones, like Bryce Terang was at 20. So I would say pick one, sell it, because it is not a no-sell. Just pick one, either have or you sold, whatever. You know how it goes. Missions here are pretty simple. 1000 PXP, hits, extra base hits, runs, home runs, total bases, wins, and then 20k with any player. It shouldn't be too difficult. It is Moonshot, so it's going to be a little bit more funky, but have fun with that one. I didn't see any, like, I don't even know what it is because I haven't looked at it, but it's at Shieldwoods. I don't know if there's, like, common pitchers again. I have no clue. In terms of players, talked about Mookie Betts. Make sure you're getting him. Spotlight. This is what you kind of also need. So for this one, the first card here is Kyle Freeland. Second in Rockies history to reach 1,000 strikeouts. A lot of good green there. Fastball, knuckle curve, cutter, circle change, and a sweeper. Good for Kyle. I don't know if he'll get to 2,000 or 3,000, but hey, good for him. We're talking about cards that feel weird. Connor Pratt here feels interesting to me. Very good defensively. Speed's really good. Arm is really good. 87, 75 contact versus right. 103, 70 versus left. Fielding ability is really decent here alongside his arm. Maybe not the speediest boy out there, but he'll get 81. He could sneak into some lineups. There have been some really interesting tops now cards here as well. Some XP, and then the June Spotlight drop 3. Dustin May is like the main guy. Almost threw no hitter, but threw a complete game. Shutout there, four-seam cutter, sweeper, sinker, circle change. Usage here they're talking about, the pars will be the same. They mentioned that in the stream. I'm not the biggest Dustin May guy, so I don't know what to do about this, but looks pretty good. Everything's green, so that's good. Again, maybe some better K per 9s, depending on how you sort of feel might be the way, or hit per 9. Per 9's going to be the way to go. Read that little combo with both. Colt Keith gets 1 as well for 3 homers. Big against righties, 110, 115. Kind of matte against lefties. He doesn't play against lefties a lot, so he might be a righty platoon situation, or you could boost him up a smidgen. I don't think the power is the biggest thing against the same-handedness. Kind of just make it work. Because defensively, he's kind of a fish, but make it work. He plays second base, but I've seen a lot of like really weird animations over second base. Justin Dean's first hit was a triple. I didn't realize he didn't get a hit as a Dodger. I thought he did. I guess I was crazy because I guess he just came in late for like pinch running and stuff, but he got one here. Stellar defensively, really high contact, low power, speed's really good. I have been looking for a good center fielder for a while, and I think he might be it, but I swear to Jebediah up above. Can these guys just hit 95? I don't... This weird cap on Topps Now cards is going to drive me bananas. So hopefully when June hit or July hits, they just become 95s, because if I have to see 94s next week in that frickin' program, I'm going to lose my absolute mind. And I probably will. So, fair warning. Dalton, who no one likes on the Dodgers rushing, gets one for his first walk-off hit in a comeback against the Baltimore Orioles. 91-14 versus right, 83-76 left. Decent catching abilities. 81 pop time's pretty good. Defensively, he's okay, but I think that more so has to do with his secondary, so take that for what it's worth on that one. But he had a good swing in a couple early ones when he was a prospect, so pretty good there. And Kyle Bradish got 12K, so he gets a card. Sinker, slider, 12-6, and a fastball. Probably not breaking anyone's lineups. 4-pitch mixes are kind of funky anyway, but he's got a sinker. Good work. Righties, he's going to get blasted, clearly, but lefties, he's decent, and K per 9's really high because for his Ks. So those are in the pack. And then Haseem Nunez, who you need for that June countdown. Pretty decent card. He might be fighting for a shortstop spot with somebody else here. He's got a ton of speed, obviously maxed out there. Arm is decent enough. His strength isn't too bad, but he's going to move pretty well. He's going to hit the ball. No real power. You could power mod him. But the archetype here is really interesting. They talk about a lot about archetypes. I really want to know what they look at archetypes, because this is like contact speed. This feels like Figgins to a certain degree. Again, there are moments here as well to knock if you want to do that. Missions as well, pretty simple. And then collections if you have them. Alrighty, let's go to... Actually, let's just rip off the Band-Aid here. So this is that is mine because I was watching the thing. I was a good boy. Let's talk about the chase card. It is Cycle Bryce Harper. This to me is absolutely comical. I don't know what I'm looking at here. For a cycle card, this doesn't feel really good. 105, 112 versus right, 91, 92 versus left. The fielding is horrid. Speed's understandable, but holy mackerel. This is a chase card that's going to go for a ton of money at a 98. And by golly, did you just listen. I'm going to show the Joe Mauer, and just the difference between the two is insane. Also, they just screwed over PCA completely. I'm guessing that has something to do with the 30-30 card, but I still find it quite hilarious that that was the case. So that's kind of funny, but that's sort of a haha tee-hee for me. And of course, the Matt Chapman's still there that we made fun of earlier. Now let's jump over to mini seasons, which is the last thing that we have to talk about. In terms of mini seasons here, it is called the Gauntlet. Why? Because there's some stuff you can do in Hall of Fame. Now, here we're reading they streamlined this a little bit to where it's just one card. It is just the Joe Mauer you're gonna get here as well. Here's Joe's Mauer stuff. He looks better than Bryce Harper. 116, 71, 115, 82 versus right and left respectively. His arm's really good. Fielding pretty good too for first base. Blocking, all that stuff is great. It really does feel like this was supposed to be that big collection card that was leaked and that they pivoted to Victor Martinez, and the V-Mart was supposed to be here and they just flip-flopped him. So it's not like this guy disappeared or anything. He just reappeared slightly different. This card might be the best card they dropped today. It is hilarious to me that is the case. He's a really good card. How do you get him? Glad you asked, chat. 20,000 PXP across the board. And then total bases, you get a premier pack. And this is where the extreme comes into play. If you play on Hall of Fame and get 40 bases, you get an ultra pack that gets 5 players. Me, hilariously, I think the Premier one should be more given out more, and then these can kind of replace that Premier slot where it's like, hey, do this. But you do get a free one of these if you play on Hall of Fame. All of these extra extreme missions are going to be on Hall of Fame. So do with that what you will. If you're playing 3 innings and you're kind of just doing stuff, you might run into a couple things. It's not the worst thing in the world. You can kind of try it out and just feel, because again, there will be an event on Hall of Fame. It's not the worst thing in the world. At least you can do is try, because it might make you a better player. Just try it out, especially if you've been doing like the grinding methods on GOAT. This shouldn't be really that big of an issue. You get a whole 1 pack for the wins there. 1 win on Hall of Fame, you get a ball in, and then 7 games. You feel me? At least the packs repeatable for every 10. If you play 28, you get 2 of them. Hall of Fame gets you 3 headliners if you get 10 wins. Hits. You sort of feel the point here that on this. Now, this is one that's interesting. 75 total bases on any difficulty will get you an April Spotlight. If you do it on Hall of Fame, the same exact thing gives you a May Any Spotlight. And then there's some strikeouts here that gives you a bullpen bash. Strikeouts 2 gives you a Premier Pack. Kind of funny that the other one gave you Premier Pack or Ultra Pack. This one gives you Premier Pack. Saves get you 3 saves on Extreme. More headliners. Home runs yield you a Premier Pack. This one also an Ultra if you get 30. Runs as well, repeatable in Hall of Fame, gets you a couple packs here as well. Well, it gives you a Jumbo Pack. Playoff Pool, etc. World is Watching, etc. Once per season. So there is some harder stuff if you really, really want to do it. I say go hog wild. You're going to probably be back here grinding anyway to do it. So it's not the worst thing in the world to sort of do it. And plus, I think this Joe Mauer is kind of worth getting. He is a gross card. I think, like I said, probably the best card they put out today. Absolutely disgusting of a catcher that you can get totally free. He is going to be on a lot of people's squads. Yeah. That's kind of it. I'm still working on the Jerry Blitz. We're almost there. We'll get that done. So in terms of all that, that is, I think we managed to get all of it. Do what you will with that. It is going to be a weird, interesting time for dare I say, a lot of people, because I think they're expecting you to play a lot of the show. We'll see if that really changes anything. All right, with all that being said, that is everything. So if you like this, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and make sure you stick around to check out more, because we'll be back next week at some point. We'll probably see how this plays out, and I'm going to be curious to see how many people actually finish that program. As it goes along, I would say just grind mini seasons, play the event. They're probably going to have you play the event anyway. So we'll sort of see how all this stuff goes along and all of it. But again, it feels like a giant L to me. Personally, maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. It just feels like it just feels like this is a Hail Mary. Like, hey, play the weekend. Ha ha, tee hee. And then I think next week's going to kind of be a little bit of a dud, personally. But we'll kind of see. Again, I would say the biggest eye is going to be on the All-Star content, because that's really where they have to hammer it in. But we'll see how that comes out next week. So that being said, my name is Specs, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.